Billboard BREAKDOWN, let's go.
Hey there, I'm Mark, in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse. And yeah, this week was kind of interesting. Coming down from an album bomb, new number one, Seamus from Morgan Wallen. And this is
Guys, I'm
Billboard
sorry.
Breakdown.
Love Somebody is so mid, I literally can't even defend Morgan Wallen anymore. Look, I was 2023, I was not proud. I don't know why I was going to say proud. I was going to say proud defender of Morgan Wallen. No, I'm not a proud defender of Morgan Wallen. I was a defender of Morgan Wallen. I liked Last Night, Think About Me, One Thing at a Time. I liked all those. The rest of the other ones, pretty fucking mid or shit. And the one that is number one right now, which I don't. Why is it number one? Why? It's the most nothing number one ever. Okay, that might be kind of over exaggerating, but yeah, I can't defend that mid. I'm sorry. I cannot defend the mid.
I don't know why I was thinking in the back of my mind that these upcoming weeks would be slower than usual. Maybe it was the same frayed perception that had me thinking Jelly Roll and Charlie XCX were competing for album bomb positioning this week, when in reality their impact fell largely below the Hot 100 last week in all the bubbling under charts. But in any case, it looks like we're starting off this year pretty fast with more actual.
Wait, yeah, what? Jelly Roll had no songs on the. I mean, I guess probably like a single probably
and for one, some of that disruption
gained.
Originates in our top 10, and a brand new number one that I really should have seen coming, but honestly I didn't. Love Somebody by Morgan Wallen. I mean, chalk this one up to a huge sales and streaming push, just enough radio to break through, but even if it doesn't really last at the top beyond this week, it had enough initial momentum to actually get there, even if when it comes to
that's crazy.
Well, stay tuned for that later on. It was enough to dethrone a bar song Tipsy by Shabuzi, though, at least for this 1 week to push it back down to number 2. But that could have happened anyway with losses across the board, and it's really hitting its peak on the radio. It's now absolutely on the downswing, even if it might retake the number 1 spot next week, and it still has plenty of momentum, because hell, it comfortably held up over Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish at number 3, as it spent the week.
Am I the only one who's not that big on this song?
Now, this is probably the biggest.
Like, it's okay, I guess.
Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga.
Won't you die with a smile?
Largely held its own. It saw gains on the radio, just again, not as fast as I think they might have been hoping. Now, compared to Espresso,
that's crazy. How are you gonna not let a song with Bruno Mars? How are you not gonna play that Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga song? Like some of the biggest artist of all time.
But it did elbow back.
Crazy.
I had some help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen down to number 6. It's bleeding in all categories there, but it had just enough of a streaming and radio edge to hold up over Lose Control by Teddy Swims at number 7, which had a bizarrely stable radio week. Now that takes us to our second new arrival, ramming
APT.
A ton of streaming and sales, Apartment by Rose and Bruno Mars.
Apartment, it's APT,
again,
buddy.
The song later itself.
Do people actually call this song Apartment?
3 Blackpink artists land on the Hot 100 with successful singles, honestly more than I ever would have expected from them. Hell, you could argue they have been more successul on their own than with the group as a whole on the charts, at least in terms of the
that
Hot 100.
actually might be true.
That Taste by Sabrina Carpenter, it got
that's my girlfriend, bear.
The radio push is there. Let's see if the streaming can actually keep up. And Beautiful Things by Benson Boone got nudged back to number 10. And the faster the radio dumps this godforsaken song, even as the streaming remains stable, the better.
How is the streaming remaining stable? What? I didn't even know that was happening.
Have that many big ones in the latter group. The major songs that were kicked out, we just got Houdini by Eminem and Red Wine Supernova by Chappell Roan. And losing the latter is absolutely a net loss. But again, some of the losses were to be expected, especially from Rod Wave with 25 down to 34, Passport Junkie at 82, Fall Fast in Love at 86, Last Lap at 88, Angel with an Attitude at 100. Outside those, well, speaking of diminished album impact, we saw Charlie XCX see considerable losses, with 360 collapsing to 77, Guess with Billie Eilish at 80, and Sympathy is a Knife with Ariana Grande at 85. And for Jelly Roll, Liar dropped back down to 87.
It's crazy how Charlie XCX might be caught between years.
Good, I'm happy with the novelty badge.
What about the Emily Chopper remix, buddy? It's coming. It's gonna gain. It's gonna gain. Probably not. Honestly, I don't think probably isn't gonna get.
Started wearing off, folks are not caring as
And
much
Elite
as
Choppa.
they want. Now, as
That Elite Choppa remix, man. Come on.
we got a decent number of both in the post-album bomb, with the former largely filling in those album bomb slots, and largely aren't any good. Starting off with Nil by Fuerza Regida at 72, and then continuing for Si No Es Contigo by Chris MJ at 84, Close to You by Gracie Abrams at 89, Worst Way by Riley Green at 91, New Drop by Don Toliver at 92, Belong Together by Mark Amber at 97, and The Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park at 98. Unfortunately, I can't say our gains are much better, so let's start off with a few positives in our debuts catching traction. That being I Love Her by Glorilla and T-Pain at 70, and Change Me by Big X The Plug at 79. More on him later. But the losses that
He has like 2 songs on
all over the place.
other new arrivals.
With Tito Double P getting Dos Diaz back at 52 with Peso Pluma.
52?
At 73.
God damn.
From there, Shake That Ass Twerk Song by Boss Man D-Lo at 54, Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae at 57, Lonely Road by Machine Gun Kelly and Jelly Roll at 59, Nights Like This by Kid Laroi at 65, Residuals by Chris Brown at 78. I mean, thank God Guy for That by Post Malone and Luke Combs.
That song's not bad.
Actually, it's largely country.
I'm overreacting.
Credit for the best gains with I Never Lie by Zach Top back at 68.
It's Beautiful as You still on the charts.
Stapleton and Dua Lipa at 69, along with No One
Beautiful as You.
holding on at 75, with quite
Kinda living up to its title.
I could have expected. But now on to a relatively reasonable list of new arrivals. And we're starting off with a follow-up from last week, number 95, Back on My BS by Big X The Plug.
Bro, the song, I looked up the song to listen to it. Bro, it was like a minute and 35 seconds. I was like, what the hell? Wait, no. No, that was the other song. Wait, what was it called? I forgot. There were, no, not. I don't think this is the song. This song's like 3 minutes. The other one, or maybe, I don't know. Is it this one? I think it might be this one, actually.
So yeah,
I don't know.
A bit of a surprise. The week after modest album success, we got 2 more tracks of Big X The Plug getting a boost. In this case, an opening track that actually dates back to last December from his EP The Biggest, and it barely runs 90 seconds.
Okay, yeah, this is the one.
I kind of get why it might have come back on production and delivery alone. Big X The Plug's gruff presence with the squonking horn line and the rumbling bass, alongside the fizzy percussion knock.
Bro, how is like Mark Ronson so good at like talking about music? I don't get that. Like he's like the GOAT at talking about music.
That much once again on a single verse with no hook. He's shooting at his ops. He's flexing. He's back on his bullshit, I guess. I mean, I can't say it's bad by any means, but if this had a little bit more meat with an actual hook, it really could have gone on.
I mean, okay, no.
Yeah, okay, it's good.
I was gonna make such a bad joke.
Better. Number 64, 2 AM by Big X The Plug.
It's just not for me. It's not for me, honestly.
In the club, looked up deep in the eyes, said you coming with me, if you with it, let's ride. Got a text when you coming inside.
Alright, I'll say this for the guy, he sure as hell's got good taste in production. The Isley Brothers sample flips until the slower percussion comes in alongside the hook and the peeling guitar, where
The peeling, like what does that even mean? The peeling guitar.
Kind of function as the hook. Although it does.
What if like Mark Ron is just like making up this shit? Like he's just like, oh, the curling piano. Like what does that even mean? This guy's just making up stuff. Nah, he knows what he's talking about. I think maybe I've just been watching Billboard BREAKDOwn about like this dude not knowing what he's talking about. Like he's just saying random stuff. Like the angelic the blackening violins. Like what are you talking about?
Especially one that doesn't serve as pure wish fulfillment for him. It's kind of bold, all things considered, and while I wasn't really wowed by it, the quality is absolutely there. So yeah, this is a good song. I get it actually charting, I'll take it. Number 58, Him All Along by Gunna.
It is definitely a Gunna song. Yeah.
Okay, look, I may have somewhat stuck up for Gunna in 2023, but outside of the improved production budget and actually sticking around, I'm not sure why I need to care about more tracks from him. It's not like his delivery or content's gonna take any chances. And with this,
why am I so tired? It's only 7 p.m.
Vocals and
Jesus
the
Christ.
fizz of the percussion that washes out that hint of the flute at the back for more of Gunna's slightly yelping delivery. Look, it's just flimsy self-empowerment come from behind, where he flexes and he reasserts that he got through his struggle to remain him all along. Way to kill all the drama. But on the hook, he even says that he's going through the motions. Why am I supposed to care? And again, all the flexing really is just brand name porn in a number of global locations that he's selling out his tour. The stunt just isn't interesting.
Oh,
Maybe
I
it's the
keep yawning.
content following off of Big X the Plug, who seems to be trying. But yeah, can't get much out of this. I'd skip it.
Definitely a Gunna song.
Or That's So True by Gracie Abrams.
It's not bad. It's like 2010s core. It's okay.
And speaking of also-rans, and by that I mean acts that have expensive production but struggle to be all that interesting independent of their influences, this is from the deluxe reissue of Gracie Abrams' album from this year, and of course Aaron Dessner's on production. And you know what? There are a lot of pieces that like this that show I could theoretically like this song. Not only do you have the warmer guitars and the slightly louder drums, but Abrams is bringing back that early 2010s rollicking cadence, damn near a millennium.
What'd I say? 2010s.
In my nostalgia window, I can admit it. I'm white enough to appreciate some of that subgenre. And the content... Okay, you know what I'm realizing with Abrams? She wants to have some of that cutting lyricism that's also kind of be a little bit more poetic and oblique, but more often than not, she misses the difference between it.
A little bit too big.
Kind of scattered and a bit confused. This is where she's observing her ex hook up with a new girl, and that girl seems so cool even to Abrams, and there's this mingled blur of infatuation and jealousy because she still has feelings for her ex. I get the head rush of messy emotions, but the punchline of the song is that, well, she can't be that cool if she's with you. But when the entire track runs on a mixed message, the power isn't there to sell it. And the line,
I get that.
So true, it doesn't read as that confident. And I don't really get the self-awareness to really question it or kind of be...
Does it have to be confident?
I don't get a lot from Abrams as a whole. As a performer, she's...
Because, like, I feel like if she's getting all those emotions, like, she wouldn't be confident, you know?
I don't know, to pick a random artist out of the blue, Taylor Swift could do this. Abrams, once again...
Like, what I was going to say is, like, okay, like, the line, like, not giving off confidence, maybe that was, like, on purpose. Because, like, you know, she's having all those emotions of being, you know, jealous and fucking liking, thinking that her ex's new girlfriend is, like, cool and shit. Like, she's having all these emotions and, like, a lot of the stuff you wouldn't say has weight because, like, you know, like, she's going through, like, a whole thing, like, a whole, like, mixed bag of shit happening in her brain that, like, she wouldn't be confident. Because, like, what if I'm wrong about this? What if I'm feeling the wrong emotion? She's feeling so many emotions, she doesn't know what emotion she is supposed to directly feel. Do you guys know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm just yapping. I don't know.
I'll say it again, but it's also true that Abrams is really getting there. I'm standing by that. Number 43, Noid by Tyler, the Creator.
Guys. Okay, I think I respect Tyler more than I like his music. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look. I have been seeing a lot of hate for Tyler recently. Definitely with the new gen, you know, people who listen to, like, the rage music, the underground shit. You know, a lot of that, like, they don't really respect Tyler. They don't really care for Tyler, which, I mean, I see. Like, the music genres are so different, like, from what, like, a Tyler Creator song and what, like, a Ken Carson song sounds like, just wildly fucking different. My take, I never really cared for Tyler that much. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I thought he was okay. Like, a funny guy, obviously. He's fun, better comedian than... Okay, no. Yeah. Man, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't have a Tyler, the Creator song on my playlist. I mean, probably my favorite song from him. Earthquake or fucking See You Again. That's like the most basic shit ever. But I have listened to Igor. It was fine. It wasn't crazy. Like, people, look, man, if you're in certain spaces, like, they will fucking worship Tyler the Creator 100%. But in other certain spaces, like, people, like, really, they don't get it. Which, I mean, I'm kind of part of both spaces. Like, I see the vision. I see the vision why he's good. I'll see the vision why people don't get it and why people don't understand, like, why it's good. You know what I'm saying? But I would never listen to the song ever on my own. Like, I listen to the song, I was like, okay, done. There you go. I listen to the song. That's it. I would never go out and listen to the song again. I just haven't listened to the album because I don't really care. Yeah, it's just Then he's having this whole drama on Twitter with him fucking talking about Swifties. Like, oh, like, why go after Swifties? Are you fucking stupid? It's just too much.
One thing I really respect about Tyler the Creator is that he's big enough as an artist to operate on his own timetable. So not only did he debut that new look and announce the album, of which I fully haven't digested yet, it might take me a little bit to actually fully get there, well, he dropped it yesterday and completely jumped past the usual Friday release period, and it's gonna do well enough on streaming regardless to impact the charts, probably get an album bomb as early as next week. That's kind of awesome. But this is that first single, and okay, we're getting a new sound here. That jagged guitar, the slightly muffled early drums, the warbles of spacey analog synth around Willow Smith.
Spacey analog synth. I have no idea what that means.
Crooning then flips into a verse until the song switches into what sounds a bit like psychedelic soul with that synth where he dips into his
Okay, I get that. I know what he just said.
Mother counsels him to try to be careful as he tries to keep his head on a swivel. I mean, it's certainly a cool sonic experience, even if I think it's a little bit short on the groove. But once I clicked into the slightly off-kilter vibe, it honestly kind of reminded me a little bit of early 2010s Frank Ocean. I can imagine something like this on parts of Channel Orange. I think it was a little bit underwhelmed by the content. I get paranoia with so many trying to grab on to Tyler's success. There is some decent wordplay. Maybe if he rapped in his lower register, the frustration and menace might make for a better contrast. But as it is, I get the feeling it might have more resonance in the context of the album. It's a cool song. I kind of wish I liked it a little more. Number 23, Tu Boda by Oscar Maiden and Fuerza Regida.
I'm sorry, but like, bro, all these songs sound the same. I'm sorry. I'm just so fucking done with this shit, bro. Every week, new song. Like, bro, every week it's the same thing. Every time, bro. Every time. I also had that problem with reggaeton, bro. Like, reggaeton is like, bro, do something different. Like make this song, but like put like fucking like different shit in it. You know, like, have a drop or like a fucking like a just crazy fucking, I don't know, bro. Something different instead of just like every single time, bro. Every time it's the same thing.
Well, this is only a matter of time. I've been watching this song pick up.
It's like rap too, and people are gonna be like, oh yeah, but rap is also the same thing. Yeah, but like, it's just certain artists like they do the same shit every fucking time, dude. It's like Future, bro. Like Future, like he switches up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But like with this dude, like I haven't heard a song like Fuerza Regida. Fucking, he's hit the charts a couple times. I have every single one of the songs that he's put on the charts sound the exact same. Every single one.
For a while.
At least Future, at least like Wait For You or like that's something like a little different, you know? It's something different. Like, you know, like Worst Day, you know, that's like kind of the same as what he does, but like the contrast, there's some difference, you know? Like I don't hear the difference in any of these Mexican regional songs, bro. I don't regional Mexican whatever, bro. Like I don't get it. Genuinely, I don't get it.
And while I have never been a fan of Fuerza Regida, I had to check out my old episodes of Billboard Breakdown to remember that Oscar Maiden has only ever had enough personality to largely dislike him. I had rock bottom expectations for this, and honestly, may have been a little unfair? For once, that reverb-touched lead acoustic guitar, it carries a pretty striking and memorable melodic hook. You can tell there's a bit more budget thrown behind there to match that.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything.
Until the horns come in and you start realizing that they're using all the whooshing production effects in order to cultivate a more impressive vibe that they can credibly sell in any of the vocals. But then you get the translation and realize this song is the sort of extended creeping on an ex who's now getting married, where he's nearing a homicidal rage and only turns away because he'd rather sulk, give the most sarcastic of blessings, and then dedicate the song to himself, the one whose heart was plainly broken.
What?
We're basically watching the arc of Thomas Rhett's Marry Me from 2017, but somehow way more self-serving and inelegant. That song was kind of sad. It had pathos and detail. Had to find some maturity to keep it all together, keep moving forward. Whereas this is
fuck-ass camera, bro. Fuck this camera.
Way more focused on the other guy that they want to beat up. And the unfortunate thing is that the melody is well produced enough. I get why it's gonna work. I get why it's charting worldwide. But man, those lyrics don't work. There are other acts in this scene, folks. We did not have to keep some of the worst of them around. That's all I'm saying. Number 8, Apartment by Rose and Bruno Mars. So earlier in this episode, I may have oversold the success of Rose, maybe Blackpink at large. A lot of their most consistent charting success has come with American collaborators. And this would probably not have broken through with the streaming totals it had without Bruno Mars's mainstream clout. That's just a fact. But it did leave me perplexed how on earth Blackpink's normal in-your-face hyperbolic energy would match with Bruno Mars. And yet what we got here is a very specific throwback to a niche of nervy new wave you saw in the late 70s, early 80s, before the gloss and the bigness of the decade really took over, which is why they're sampling Mickey by Tony Basil and Kitty by the British late 70s pop group Racy for some of the sharper hand claps, the ragged acoustics, and that buzzy synth that actually has some tangible swagger and muscle to it, especially when the song picks up some actual melodic flair on the bridge that nearly won me over there. And while the song is all about a sleazy apartment party without a ton more lyrically going on, and not a lot of chemistry between Bruno Mars and Rose either, that could have been enough. There's attitude, but then it hit me. Because someone clearly saw how well Chapel Roan landed, specifically with something this stripped back, specifically Hot to Go, and then started pulling from
wait, I see it.
Not a bad thing. Hot to Go is not my favorite Chapel Roan song, but I like
I see it. Wait. Oh my god.
Indie rock revival the mid-2000s.
No way.
Pulling a lot from that time period too, late 70s, early 80s. But I feel neither artist really commits to being weird or wild enough in their delivery to pull it off. Like someone like Kesha could absolutely do this, maybe even Pink or Gwen Stefani 20 years ago. But as it is, okay, I'll say it, Jenny impressed me a lot more with Mantra last week. That's all I'll say. And finally, number 1, Love Somebody by Morgan Wallen.
Who won't leave a hole in my heart. I just wanna love somebody.
I just wanna love somebody. Like, it doesn't even sound like excited. Like, can we like get hyped a little bit? I don't know.
You know, I guess I shouldn't be surprised Morgan Wallen's debuting at the top of the Hot 100. He is a big enough star to do it. His co-sign gave Post Malone his most success in years. I just had no faith the song would be remotely interesting. I'm not saying Morgan Wallen and his songwriters can't pull together the occasional good song, but they're amidst the deluge, they're increasingly the minority. And while I didn't want to agree with Todd in the Shadows' critique that he's basically filling in the bland hole for Maroon 5, he's even stealing their song titles now, for God's sake. And here, hell, he's interpolating the liquid quasi-disco rollick from Dua Lipa's Training Season for the watery guitars and the firmer groove. And you know what? At least she sounded like she cared on that song, whereas Morgan Wallen sounds oddly listless, kind of checked out as he moans about wishing he could find someone to love who loves him for him, you know? Okay, alright, it's nowhere near as obnoxious as it really could be. I like that little Spanish guitar flourish that shows up on the bridge. There is some tragedy in continuing to try to be up and around town, trying to meet someone, and then you build a reputation for, well, being out and around town and partying. And that can be counterproductive for what he ultimately wants to settle down. That's not a bad sentiment. Hell, it's certainly better than Love Somebody by Maroon 5. But there
Whoa, 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 whoa. You do not diss my GOAT. No. Love Somebody absolutely clear. Bro, Love Somebody cleared like... Bro, what? Love Somebody is goated. What do you mean, bro?
It's certainly better than Love Somebody by Maroon 5. But there is something about the
No!
vibe that's very
Margrana, see, now because you said that, we're going to get a Maroon 5 comeback in 2025. He just cursed all of us. He just cursed all of us. That's crazy. Oh my god, no.
And Morgan Wallen is not Niall Horan.
I really want to love somebody. I really want to dance the night away. I were only halfway there, but take me all the... Bro, see, now you got me thinking about how good that song is. Ugh.
It's decent, but I can see myself getting tired of this more quickly than I would like. All I'm gonna say. That's our week, though. Bit of a strange one, but I do appreciate there being more personality and quality overall, and that makes the worst fall out fast with Tu Boda by Oscar Maida and Fuerza Regida as the easy bottom slot, with dishonorable mention for Him All Alone by Gunna for having just no personality whatsoever. Best of the week, kind of tricky, wasn't really an obvious standout. It can go any number of ways, but I'm gonna give it to 2 AM by Big X The Plug, with honorable mention for Noid by Tyler the Creator, and it probably will grow on me with time and more listens to the album proper. And speaking of which, well, given how well he's currently streaming, even with just a partial tracking week, he's probably got impact coming. Stay tuned for that next week. But until then, I'm Mark.
You're watching Billboard Breakdown, affiliated with Spectrum Pulse. And I'll see you next time. He'll see us next time. That's fine. Alright, guys. What do you think of this new Billboard week? Are you excited? Are you bored? Are you happy? What do you think? Well, go subscribe to Billboard Breakdown. And, yeah. Thanks for watching.